Hello, my name is Alexis Ayala, and I'll be doing my project on living on a $15 an hour doing freelance work while living in the King of Prussia area. The freelance work rise because that is very popular in today's society. Many people are doing a lot of freelance jobs for additional income because it's flexible hours, days, and so forth. Also, with working a freelance job, you're able to have more control over your schedule. We will also be covering some of the challenges as far as the expensive housing, because housing is where most of people income go to. Like, that's where a large portion of their income go to when they're working in freelance. Limited necessities, the high stress levels that may arise with, this workforce, and also the purpose of the whole project as a whole, analyzing if the wage is feasible and what can improve, since this is something that is very common in today's society. Next, we have our income breakdown. Statistically, freelance workers work about 40 hours a week, and that's about 28% of the freelance workers. So I incorporated those statistics into this breakdown. So full-time standards is 40 hours a week. Then we're going to multiply that 40 hours a week by the $15 an hour, which is about $600 weekly. Next, we're going to take that $600 weekly to the 4 weeks in a month, which will be about $2,400. Now, the reason why I extended it to $2,600 is because sometimes when freelancers want to make extra money, they will work extra time. And statistically, 16% of freelance workers will work 46 hours to 50 hours, which is how I pretty much got the number $2,600 a month. So roughly, they'll be making $2,400 to $2,600 monthly. And then next, we have the annual income and living options. We already did the $15 an hour multiplied by the 40 hours a week, which is how we got the $2,400 to this $2,600 monthly income. Annual income was approximately $31,200. After taxes, it's a breakdown of $25,000 around about. Then we have two different living options. First and foremost, I would like to add that when you are seeking for an apartment or a new living space, most of the times they want first and last month's rent, or they want 3 times the income amount. So that is what will also make it a very stressful process for those who are working in a freelance industry. But let's go back to the living options. For first option will be to find an apartment for about $1,100, a little over $1,100 a month, which will be coming in at utilizing almost 50% of that freelancer income, which is very, very difficult, and it's a lot. Another strain that I found with doing this project is that there were not many options of affordable rents. Everything was over $1,000 or over $1,500, over $2,000. It was really a strain to find something that was around the $1,200 mark. And with this $1,100 rent for the first option, that is for a studio. So this person will not even be getting their own room. Everything will be all in one. Their kitchen, their bathroom, their living room, their room, all of that is all under one big room, which is like, it's crazy. So the second option, which I believe will be best, is to find a roommate, which will pretty much split all of those expensive down the middle. So if we were to go on the Kangaroo website, there are different areas in King of Prussia who are actually looking for roommates, and those ranges from $600 all the way up to $1,100, which I think is more manageable, and it'll make it better for the freelancer. In addition, with one of the rooms that I found, it amounted to $650 per month, and that was just only with one roommate, which I believe is a great, like, that's a steal, because that freelancer will only be utilizing 25% of their income. So the rest they will be able to distribute with their personal life needs. So we're going to go into the roommate option. Next, we have the estimated expenses. Let's keep in mind that these are the breakdown for a freelancer with a roommate. So everything will pretty much be split in two, which makes things way more smoother. So rent will only be $650. Transportation, which will be SEPTA. Monthly pass will be $95. Food will be $350 to $400. Now, the great thing about food is most of the time roommates come together and they'll split the food expenses down the middle. So if both roommates will agree to put up $350, that means that they will have $600 worth of food, or $700 worth of food, or $800 worth of food for that month, which will make things way more better and smoother for both. Or it will be cheaper. So this is why I came up with $350 to $400. That food can be for groceries or it can be out dining. Next, we have clothing. Clothing can range from $50 to $100. Giving can be about $10. Giving can be to a charity, giving to someone that is in need, or it can be given with your time. So giving doesn't always have to be monetary. The electric bill can be around $50, but let's keep in mind that this is 50%, so this is good. Health insurance will be approximately around $445. After I did some digging on the health insurance package, $445 is probably the cheapest that I can find. Next, we have our PICO. So PICO will cover water and gas. That will be about $50. So that will bring us to the sum of $1,650 to $1,700. So it will be between the two. I feel as though that living with a roommate makes financial burdens less stressful for that freelancer. Next, we have our expenses versus income. Income after taxes will bring us down to $2,085. Monthly expenses are $1,650 to $1,700. What's remaining? What's remaining is $385 to about $435 a month. Living with a roommate can keep you under budget. What can extra funds be used for? Extra funds can be used for savings, for emergencies, extra spending, which is a great thing. Although $385 to $435 is not much, it can still be used for other funds. Next, we have different types of freelance gig work. These are some that I think are really good ideas, which are dog walking, graphic designer, becoming a social media management, customer support, or tutoring. Freelance gigs are flexible hours, and you can pretty much make however much you like, but you definitely have to put the time in. Next, we have the reality of this and an overview of solution. Living in King of Prussia is possible with a roommate and strict budgeting. I believe that there should be an increase of affordable housing. Even with me doing this project, it was very difficult for me to find affordable price housing. There are limited housing options for those with low income. Next, I believe that they should expand food assistance resources. There should be more food resources to help with stability for those who genuinely need it and those who may not have a roommate. Roommates shouldn't be an option. I believe that roommates should not be an option to make, to get by, or it should be a lifestyle, Many times people use roommates for short-term fixes. Like, there has to be more of a stable living for those of all different workforces. Lower healthcare costs should be like at the top of the list, because health care should not be $400 and $500. And 9 times out of 10, it doesn't even cover the full medical expenses. So that's another headache in itself. Insurance cost is way too expensive. Next, I believe that there should be an increase in pay. $15 is just not enough in today's society, especially with inflation constantly rising. Increase of pay will result in a better lifestyle and more stability of a lifestyle. And there should also be more resources. The government should offer better resources for those who need extra help with stability. 9 times out of 10, some people are not always stable. We go through different seasons in life where one day we're up, one day we're down. Financial hardships always can arise.